Hello again, everyone. You're listening to another episode of Executive Platform's Blueprint podcast series. My name is Jeff Mix. I'm Executive Platform's Head of Content and Research. My guests today are Shawn McCarthy, Jessica Swanson, and Peggy Hansen of Regenity Biosciences. Shawn is Regenity's CEO. He's worked as a leader in the medical device industry for almost 3 decades now. Before joining Regenity, his most recent role was as the General Manager of Structural Heart Valves at Boston Scientific. Jess is Regenity's Vice President of Marketing, and her career has also been dedicated to the medical device sector. In addition to Regenity, she has also worked in the breast and skeletal health division at Hologic and on a number of innovative projects and products with Medtronic. Peggy is the General Manager of Contract Development and Manufacturing, as well as the Senior Vice President of Regulatory, Quality, and Clinical Affairs at Regenity. She has 25 years of experience in regulatory affairs, clinical research, and quality assurance of implantable medical devices across a number of companies, and she has been with Regenity for more than 20 years now. Shawn, Jess, Peggy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Jeff. Pleasure to be here.
Happy to join the conversation, Jeff.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, well, let's kick things off with you, Shawn. Tell us a bit about Regenity. What is the vision and mission behind your company?
Sure. Thanks, Jeff. Well, we are a leading regenerative business-to-business product development and manufacturing business. So we transform materials like collagen, animal-based collagen. We transform synthetic polymers and other biomaterials, and we turn those into bioresorbable products that repair and regenerate soft tissue and bone. In the end, our mission is we want to make a material difference in the lives of patients. And we do that quite often. As a matter of fact, in the time we'll spend together today, I think we'll probably treat over 160 patients around the world. And I think the evolution of the business, what's really exciting is that we continue to innovate in a way that allows us to be changing standards of care, the goal of changing standards of care to create solutions that are really, truly definitive in that we can make the first treatment last. The idea that the first time an opportunity to help a patient improve their lives with our partners, again, business to business, through our partners and with those physicians, to create solutions that not only complement other therapies that might be happening for that patient, but actually have a product that is the final treatment for that patient, the last treatment. It lasts, it's enduring, and it gives that patient the care that they need.
That's really inspiring. Jess and Peggy, it must be exciting to work for a company with such a clear mission.
Absolutely, Jeff. It keeps us focused on creating a real impact for more than 125 customers and more than 4 million patients a year with our technologies.
And it drives us to tackle challenges in the most innovative ways, from neurosurgery to sports medicine, and most recently, wound care.
Well, Peggy, let's talk about why medical device companies choose to work with CDMOs. It's a big topic. What is the value proposition?
Yeah, I think medical device companies often choose to work with CDMOs because they're looking for help in developing products where they may not have the technological expertise, they may not have the resources or manufacturing capacity in-house. A CDMO typically has the ability to develop and manufacture a medical device within a shorter time frame and with lower cost than if the medical device companies were to do it themselves. Some CDMOs focused on one specific aspect of manufacturing, such as packaging, while other CDMOs, like Regenity, offer end-to-end full contract services from concept to commercialization. So based on the needs of the medical device company, selecting the right CDMO with expertise in the specific area of development and manufacturing can really lead to a significant increase in speed to market, lower development cost, and a higher likelihood of successful product performance.
That makes a ton of sense. Now, speaking of specialties, I understand obviously regenerative medicine innovations are going to come with their own unique challenges, their own unique opportunities, and there's a lot of expertise built in there, which is one of the things where your company shines. Can you talk about some of the unique aspects of what you do compared to maybe traditional instrument CDMOs?
Yes, absolutely. There are definitely some unique aspects of working with a CDMO on regenerative products that are different from the traditional, medical device CDMO. Well, first off, the development of a device intended to facilitate regeneration of host tissue. The key is the balance of rate of resorption and rate of regeneration. For example, if a device degrades too fast before the host tissue has a chance to regenerate, then the defect site or the injured tissue may not fully heal. And then another important aspect is evaluating the biocompatibility and safety of an implantable device that's resorbable. So we not only need to evaluate the safety of the implant itself, we also need to look at the safety of the degradation products. So that's different than a standard, medical device. And then even looking at the quality of the regenerated tissue. Some regenerative devices may also include a bioactive component, which would lead to more complex assessments of product performance, claims, and really the regulatory pathway for approval. So we at Regenity have 27 years of experience in development and manufacturing of regenerative products. So we are really able to help our customers think through these unique aspects to bring innovative regenerative products to life.
It sounds like a fascinating space to be in. Shawn, I'm sure our audience is curious, who some of the companies are that Regenity has developed products for. Could you surprise our audience with some of your customers and maybe tell us about some of the products you have brought to market?
Absolutely. Well, we can certainly surprise your audience, but the customers that know us aren't surprised. We've been able to bring a lot of innovation through over the last several years. But I can share with you, we've got over 125 customers, Jess mentioned that earlier. And we usually purposely point out those that have already publicly commented on the partnerships, because we also preserve the integrity of those relationships when they don't want to let folks know that we're involved. So the folks that publicly have talked about us would include Stryker and Medtronic and Smith & Nephew. So certainly large players in healthcare, but also we work quite a bit with mid-sized public companies. We work with private companies, startups, folks that really want to add regenerative products to their portfolio. In total, we've got, Jeff, over 75 product lines, including tendon repair membranes. We've got dural repair membranes, ENT nasal packing devices, spine bone graft, dental bone graft, the list goes on. And we market and commercialize those through our partners in more than 80 countries around the world. So Peg and her team, that regulatory prowess that we speak about here, has enabled us to achieve and receive over 170 regulatory approvals in the world, over 60 of those in the US alone. And so what has that ended up with? It really has allowed us to achieve with our partners. We either have a number 1 or number 2 market share position in several markets, including ENT, rotator cuff repair, dural repair, peripheral nerve, and other markets. And in every market we participate in, we're actually growing faster than the market is. And so we're continuing to take market share. Just to give you a quick glimpse, we've launched over 14 products in the last 4 years, and we're lining up to launch another 20 just in the next 3.
Wow. I mean, it's very impressive. And I will say in a lot of these conversations, people say, hey, we don't want to talk about our clients. We don't want to get into those specifics,
Right.
But it's a wonderful story to share. Sure. I suspect there aren't many companies with the capabilities and experience that you have in this space. Jess, what makes Regenity stand out from other CDMOs?
Sure, Jeff. Well, when it comes to biomaterials, our experience really spans the spectrum. You heard Shawn say it. We've got over 27 years of working with collagen, bioceramics, polymers, biocomposites. We've built a deep understanding of how to integrate these materials effectively, and that expertise makes a real difference in the outcomes we deliver. On the regulatory side, you heard some of the stats, but to break it down for you by market, we've achieved more than 60 FDA 510Ks, 24 CE marks, a few certifications in China, but it's not about the numbers. It's really about how this expertise allows us to maintain and leverage a library of design assets. And these assets give us a real edge in speeding up the time it takes to get new products to market for our partners. Speed is paramount because at the end of the day, patients are waiting. They're counting on us to bring these innovations to life. And that's why we move with a sense of urgency, a deliberate focus on innovation. It's core, as you heard from Shawn, to our mission to make a patient's next surgery last. And one example we're also especially excited about is our latest meniscal repair implant. It has the potential to change the standard of care for treating meniscus tears, Jeff, addressing an unmet need, and we hope making a real difference in patient lives.
Again, really exciting stuff. It sounds like you have a lot to offer for those interested in regenerative devices. I wonder if we can go back to Shawn again. Could you give us a sneak peek into the kinds of products Regenity develops and manufactures? Maybe share a customer success story.
There are roughly 1 million meniscectomies that are performed each year just in the US. And so those injuries today, they require surgery often, and the standard of care is a meniscectomy, so removing that damaged meniscus. And so, but the potential here for a long-term consequences or issues is very real. So that could be increased joint pressure, that could be osteoarthritis, that could be a potential for a total knee replacement. So we have, with this approval that we've received, this FDA clearance that we received late last year, we are the only approved and available regenerative scaffold for meniscal repair on the market. So this has an opportunity to really change the standard of care. And we're in the process right now, and maybe in our next podcast, we can share with you who we've selected as our commercialization partner as we go to market with this technology. As mentioned, B2B, we rely on our partners. In this case, we've developed from concept all the way through to approval, including all the heavy lifting and the preclinical work to get to clearance. And now we select our partner to bring it to patients through their physicians.
That's really exciting. And I will just say for this episode, yes, if you want to come back in the future and give us an update on that, I know our audience would be interested. I do want to give Jess a chance to maybe talk about, you've got 120 different partners. What is some of the feedback you've been hearing from them when they partner with you?
Yeah, Jeff, absolutely. Over the past few years, we've actually conducted customer satisfaction and net promoter score surveys. We're incredibly proud to share that we've achieved nearly 100% overall satisfaction, and that's a testament to the trust and confidence that our customers place in us. But the feedback consistently highlights really two standout areas. One, the exceptional quality and performance of our products, and two, the reliable, seamless service that we deliver. These aren't just check boxes for us. They're core to how we operate. And what truly sets us apart, though, Jeff, is our people. Time and again, and Shawn will say it all the time, it's their dedication, expertise, willingness to go above and beyond that truly makes the difference. Our credibility in the regenerative medicine space is unmatched. We've got this unique ability to translate customer requirements and unmet needs into innovative regenerative devices like Shawn described with the meniscal repair implant. But let's not overlook the incredible work of our regulatory team. That's why we'll also be focusing on this topic at the upcoming show. They're more than a support function. They're a strategic advantage for us, navigating the complex landscapes to ensure our products not only meet the mark, but ultimately exceed expectations.
I wonder if we could follow up on that a little, because I can appreciate speed to market is important, but there must be a competitive advantage somewhere. There's something your organization is offering the industry that it needs, and clearly it's finding in you. Could we expand upon that? Maybe, Shawn, you could walk us through it?
Yeah, just going a little further on that topic, Jeff, because I think in the end, if what we're able to provide our customers is we believe, the most differentiated innovation delivered in the most efficient manner possible, what does that really mean? Well, sources of differentiation, whom better than Regenity Biosciences to understand the raw innovation, the raw technologies that are available in the marketplace, whether it be collagen or synthetic polymers or any other biomaterial, but the ability for us to transform that in a truly differentiated way, giving our partners unique solutions for their physicians and the patients. And it happens because our people primarily, as Jess has pointed out, we call our folks material transformers, our team, our people, because they truly are. They're wonderfully talented people that are making that type of material difference. And we rely on what we call a design asset repository. We have so much intellectual property. We have so many approvals already, predicate devices. We understand these base technologies so well. So when another customer comes to us, we can rely on that repository to accelerate our learnings and to innovate quickly and to prototype and to get it into the market as quickly as possible. And it's leveraging well understood, well characterized technologies as seen by regulatory affairs folks. So that also helps to complement, or is complemented by, our world-class regulatory team. So you put all those pieces together in a 27-year manufacturing trade secret process know-how that we have. That's what ends up bringing innovation to life so quickly and more efficiently than a partner could typically do it on their own. Super exciting for us here at Regenity.
Absolutely. I mean, we are talking about patients' lives. Regulatory compliance is key. Why don't we talk to Peggy about that? You mentioned earlier how crucial regulatory strategy is. Can you elaborate on why it's such a game changer, especially when it comes to regenerative medicine?
Sure. Developing a solid regulatory strategy is really a key part to product development. And when developing, for example, in the US, a Class 2 device, selecting the most appropriate or best predicate device is critical. You're not choosing the predicate device strategically or not performing the testing required for a regenerative device could really extend the timeline to FDA clearance and potentially prevent the ability to make certain product claims. For regenerative products that contain bioactive components, the regulatory pathway could get more complex. As a combination product, the product could require a PMA, an NDA, or even a BLA to bring it to market. So having a CDMO that includes regulatory experience and consultation could really help navigate the regulatory pathway with focus on the most appropriate regulatory strategy, including the key testing required for a regenerative product.
Yeah, it's such an important point, and I know you'll be diving deeper into this during your fireside chat at the upcoming Medical Device Manufacturing Excellence Summit. Jess, what can the audience expect to learn at the event?
Yeah, Jeff, Peggy and I are super excited to be attending the event and supporting this fireside chat. We know several of the companies participating at the MDMES show have regenerative products in their portfolio, likely to expand upon those portfolios in the future, given the opportunities that exist in this category. So our goal for the fireside chat is to talk specifically about how organizations can identify pathways to accelerate innovation through navigating regulatory strategy, specifically for regenerative devices. This is an area, as you've heard, that we excel, and we have a lot to offer the medical device community. So we're going to discuss how safety and efficacy standards for regenerative devices differ from other medical devices. We'll talk about best practices for integrating new technologies into the manufacturing process while balancing regulatory requirements with agile development. And we'll also look ahead to trends we foresee in the regulatory environment for regenerative devices and how can companies best prepare.
We've covered a lot of ground in this conversation. If we wanted to highlight a couple of key takeaways you want people to think about further after listening to this episode, what would you want to emphasize for them?
Well, one big takeaway I would say, Jeff, for medtech companies, especially in the regenerative medicine space, is the advantage of partnering with the right CDMO. The manufacturing and regulatory complexities in this field can be daunting, but with the right partner, they can turn those challenges into opportunities. And at Regenity, we've positioned ourselves as a one-stop shop for designing and developing truly differentiated products efficiently and effectively. So with that track record of working with more than 125 customers, we've become the trusted CDM partner for the medtech community. And I'll just add one more point. Another key point to emphasize is the importance of that regulatory strategy. It's not just a box to check. It can have a huge impact on your speed to market.
Well, what a great note to end on. For everyone who has enjoyed this episode, if you want to learn more, I'm delighted to say we have some great options for you. First of all, you can visit www.regenity.com. We will also have a link to that in our show notes. Second, as we mentioned earlier, Regenity is going to be presenting at our upcoming Medical Device Manufacturing Excellence Summit next month in Austin. Those of you who are attending that event, Regenity's workshop on the importance of having a regulatory strategy will be on the afternoon of February 17th in room 2. Regenity will also have a team on site. I believe that is going to include both Peggy and Jess. And when they're not presenting, they will be, obviously enjoying the event, but also they have a booth in the exhibition hall. So be sure to visit them there. Shawn, Jess, Peggy, this has been an amazing discussion. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and for all the good work you're doing at Regenity to move the industry forward.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank
Have
you,
a great day.
Jeff.
Yep.
Thank you.
You've been listening to another episode of Executive Platform's Blueprint podcast series. I've been Jeff Mix. Let's do it again soon.